Hey guys, it's Laurel, and it is 3:02 on Saturday, the 22nd. How's everyone doing? Cheers. I'm having a white Zinfandel and Merlot mixture. Hubby, I was gonna say he hates it, but no, he gets a little annoyed because I like to mix things a lot. Like, do you have to mix everything? Yes, I do. So, I found Sutter Home Zinfandel. It's the right kind of Zinfandel when you want just a regular wine, just something easy to drink. And of course, my Merlot. So, I splashed a little Merlot in it, gave it a good color. Wouldn't this make an awesome, like, fall yarn color? Oh, you can see the reflection. I got up to get some water, and I decided to have wine instead. I probably shouldn't, because I've had a headache for like a day. Oh well. How are you guys doing? Hope you're having a good day. We are having a cloudy day. The sun peeks out every now and then under very thick clouds. Some parts are just soupy gray. Other parts, there's a little bit of blue, and it just comes and goes. Right when I was walking into the grocery store, I think I kept a picture. You could see the clouds and you could see the rain coming in it. It sprinkled a bit, and by the time I was halfway through shopping, there was sunshine. By the time I was done shopping, it was all gone. So that's the kind of week we've been having, so wine it is. Anyway, so welcome to all the new subscribers. I think I'm actually maybe 70 away from 2,000 subscribers. Who would have thunk it? So thank you very much. Welcome to all you guys, and to all the returning yarnies out there. Thank you for coming back again and spending some time with me. And I'm starting off rambling. What's the word that popped into my head? Oh, it's not rambling. Babbling? It wasn't babbling. Oh, I just thought of it last night. I was watching Netflix last night. I was watching an Agatha Christie. Apparently she went missing for a few days. Way back when. Oh, at least that's what it said in the movie. I don't even remember what it is. I think it's the murder and the truth murder or something. I was watching it on Netflix and this word came into my head and I'm like, oh, that's what I do. Now I can't remember what it is. Anyway. We're going to talk about FOs, a little bit of acquisitions, well, a little bit of current acquisition, and some of it is mail that came in from a fundraiser that I purchased from. Whips, and hair love. Thank you guys so much for all the compliments on the hair. It is seriously taking some time to get used to. My long hair was kind of a security blanket. Almost, you know, it framed the face and it felt like it covered. Now that this is off, it felt like it covered me, and without it, it's a little jarring, especially when I pass by mirrors and forget that I've cut my hair, or the number of people at work who start talking to me and I'm like, why are they looking that way? And then it's the hair. So I've already almost forgotten about it until I get reminded of it. So thank you very much. I'm still figuring it out because, yeah, it takes a bit to not look like I just rolled out of bed. Anyway, so thank you all for your kind words. I truly appreciate it. The other thing, a question. I know people have mentioned that I crochet fast, and I don't think I crochet fast. I think there are so many people who crochet so much faster, because sometimes I'm watching people and they're saying, oh, I got this done in an hour, and I look at it, I'm like, really? No, that wouldn't be me. But I had caught, I think it was last week, on the 16th, I had caught Creative Grandma's, a little bit of her live. I usually don't catch people's lives. It's either when I'm at work or when I'm doing something. I never catch it at the right time. If I do, it's usually at the end where people are just about to sign off. But I caught a little bit of it where she was just chit-chatting, and a lot of it, she's like, you probably come here for yarn talk, but she was just talking about her life and, you know, her medical issues and blah, blah, blah. You know, the way we're wont to do. But she had a question about how long does it take people to make a blanket, and I was surprised by some of the answers. Like some people said 2 weeks, but there are people who say like 2 days. Maybe it's because I don't like making blankets. It would never be the first thing I go to, and unless it's for a request or an order, yeah, if I start one, it will take forever. That repetition, unless I guess it's something really intricate that keeps my interest. I don't know what it is. I'm an instant gratification person. I'll give that, and I want it done. That's why I like I love wearing hats, but I like doing hats because you can get them done quick enough. So, but I was just curious, how long does it take you to do a blanket? I mean, like I know Ella did the mandala style. That would need concentration. That would need time, and that would take way longer than the time she spent on it. And if it's just a plain double crochet blanket, that would probably bore me to tears. So I don't know, how long does it take you to do a blanket? Like the people who said 2 weeks, I'm like, okay, you know, if you're focused on it, if I'm focused on it, yeah, 2 weeks, but 2 days, 4 days, no, never. But just curious. So actually, that will be the question for the next giveaway, which I totally forgot to pull it out. Anyway, yeah, so I had to pull a new winner because I never heard from Winona Hutchins, so I will pop you over to that. And I forgot to pull the winner for the Dr. Seuss bag, so I will have to put that at the end of this, since I don't know who that is because I forgot, because I was so focused on repulling. So the one that I repulled for is for the owl bag that comes with a skein of yarn. I don't know if I mentioned the skein of yarn, but it comes with a skein of yarn before. So I will pop you over to that. And hey guys, so it's Laurel again. I did not hear from Winona Hutchins, so I am going to redraw for the owl bag. So I've already pasted the URL, and we've gained a few more commenters since last time. So let's see who the new winner is. Michelle 9396. Great deals. Assuming she was talking about all the yarn. All right, Michelle, as always, my information will be down below, and send me an email where you want it shipped, and I will get that out to you. Thanks. Okay. Bye. So, Michelle 9396, give me a call. I was going to say give me a call. Send me an email and let me know where to send that. And again, to everyone, I announce everything through the podcast, and I expect that, you know, it's the reason I'm doing that is to say thank you to the people who actually watch the podcast. So everything is done through the podcast. I'm not going to send an email. I'm not going to do any other kind of communication. So it's for people who actually spend their time or taking their time to watch the podcast. I'm showing my appreciation. So hopefully Michelle 9396 is one of those people, and you'll hear your name and get back to me. And like I said, I will put the drawing for the Debbie bag, the Canadian crocheter bag, at the end of this. So, all right. And the question for the next one, I'll wait a minute because I have to go pull the bag because I forgot to do that. So, all right. Moving along. So I came across a new Is she new? Yeah, I think the last video was April. She has 3 regular videos, and I think there was 1 or 2 really short ones on there. But her name is Karen V. Miguel, and her story is kind of awesome. She, and I'm going to forget a lot of this, but, okay, sorry. I had to go do something. Interruptions. So, Karen Miguel, she actually got contacted to do, she crochets and gorgeous hats, cable hats, you know, all gorgeous things. And she was contacted to have her hats as part of, what do they call them? Those goodie bags they give at awards, and I forget which award it is. But, you know, she was able to produce the hats, and basically her hats got worn by celebrities. Like, what's her name? How to Get Away with Murder. Wow, my brain is absolutely not working. And it's a little grayish, and the light wasn't cooperating, so my light's on, and it's kind of blinding me. Oh my God, I cannot believe I've been saying her name like all week. Viola. Even though I can't remember her last name right now. But her hats got worn by all manner of celebrities, let me tell you. So basically her business exploded. And her 3 videos are really talking about, and I apologize, Karen, if I'm butchering this, but her videos talk about, you know, having your own business and all the things that you have to think about having your own business. But the one part that really got to me was, or that spoke to me, that she was talking about pricing, because you know we all hem and haw and struggle with pricing. But what really spoke to me is in her video, and she offers this free downloadable spreadsheet of how to price and the things that you take into account on pricing. And it's some of the things that you should have known, but you really don't think of. The little things, like throwing in like $1 for a thread that you use if you're making bags, or the zippers and all the other things. So before I butcher this any longer, I will put a link to her YouTube channel, and I highly recommend that you go take a look at those 3 videos. I think the last video was dated April. So hopefully she's still going to do this. But that 3rd video, I highly recommend you take a look at. Because for all of us who sell stuff, it's not even that you have to own like your formal business. We sell things, so it's good to have a concrete, a tangible way of pricing things. So I'm going to stop butchering that. Hi, Karen. And I will put the link below. Definitely go take a look at it. You will find something worthwhile in there. So again, hi, Karen, and I hope you keep making videos, and hopefully we'll chat again soon. Okay, moving on before I babble more and more. Whips. I saw Miss CC, making socks, and one of my goals this year was to knit socks. Ever since I found the joy of wool blend socks, I'm like, I need that, because my feet are always cold, my hands are always cold, so I needed that. So I don't know if you remember, my first attempt at knitting a sock, I'm a proponent of use the yarns that you're comfortable with, at least to start off with, to get a handle on things. So I used super bulky, and it still took me a bit of time, because I'm not one to just work on something straight through unless it's really quick, unless it's something you can get done in an hour or 2. So it still took me a bit of time, and I did struggle still with the heel. But my goal is to knit socks in at least worsted weight, comfortably, and then I will move on to the thinner yarns, God help me. So Miss CC had sent me some yarn. Actually, I'm looking over there, but I should have it right here. She had sent me my first ice yarn, and I love the colors in this. It's a stone washi, I think it's called batik look too, but I love it. I love the colors. They are They're vibrant and muted at the same time. It's saturated enough that you notice it, but it's muted enough in that it's not like punching you in the face kind of color. And I don't think they have colorways on these. It is an anti-pilling print, 100% anti-pilling acrylic, 100 grams. They don't do yards on here, I think. It's a number 4, and it's made in Turkey, of course. It's ice yarns. There's no color. I don't even see the color number, which is what they usually give you. Calls for a 5 to 6 millimeter yarn, needle, and yeah, they just give the needle. But yeah, it's definitely a regular worsted. I'd use an H hook typically on this, an H to an I hook. No color number. Hold on. I think somebody mentioned once that the colors are on the outside of the pack that it comes in, and totally correct. With these yarns, they don't give a color name, they just list all the colors on there. So it's copper, olive, green, khaki, white. Yeah, pretty much. So I'm using that. It's I'd say it's burgeoning on a light worsted, but it works. This is where I am. I'm just doing the straight stockinette for the what do you call it? The cuff, and it's not the foot, whatever it's called. And then the other thing I'm working on still, hasn't been touched much, is this Algonquin beanie. I think I maybe put like 5 stitches on there. Yeah, it's been that kind of week. Okay, so ooh, I've got fluff on my eyelashes. Okay. It's all over the place, and the wine's giving me hiccups. Okay, so that's my active whips. Acquisitions. I just came back, like I said, from grocery shopping. I do that Saturdays usually. When I'm feeling especially lazy, I will do it on a Friday night so I don't have to get up and do anything Saturday, but usually Saturdays. So I checked Walmart again. I'm hoping that they have real clearance prices rather than the 97-cent discount on the Hometown USA. And I was hoping with all the redesign that they're doing that they would clear some things out, but I found nothing. I've been scanning all the yarns, and everything is basically back to regular price, which is too bad because they're still not anywhere near done. Hopefully hubby will get that. I'm just gonna let it ring. They're not near done with the redesign at my local Walmart. So, but I did see a new colorway in Hometown USA that I've never seen before. And it's called Riverdale Tweed. But the other thing I noticed too is looks like they are rebranding the Hometown USA. And instead of Hometown USA, it is just Hometown. Come on, you're not going to focus? Oh, there you go. It's just Hometown. And the band color is different as well. And I'm looking to see... Oh, hang on one second. The current branding band is this one, the brown Hometown USA. And this band, I would say, is about 3 years old. So this is the new one. So, whoops. Old and new. It's the same width. The one thing it looks like they took off, which sucks, is the ruler. That was a big selling point for them, but no more Hometown USA. It's Hometown, and it's just a white band. So other than that, everything else looks pretty much the same. Yeah. Their website used to be in lowercase, now it's capitalized. I guess it's streamlined. It looks less busy than the old one. Definitely. Yeah. Everything's smaller text-wise. But yeah, this is a new colorway. It's not showing up. Yeah, it's too dark. Oh. It's a green. It's like a khaki green color. No, not khaki green. With the specks of brown in it, it looks like it could be a khaki brown, but it's more like a foresty green color. So yeah, there is a new colorway, and I think there was another one too. Oh, the other thing with this is prices have gone up. So maybe that's why they were discounting some of the others. But at Walmart, it has always been $2.97. It is now $3.24. Yeah. So prices of yarn, yet again, is going up. And it's been steady, I think, for 3-4 years. And now it's going up again. So we all saw that the Hobby Lobby yarn went from $3.99 to $4.99. Now this is going, Red Heart Super Saver went up, and now Hometown USA at Walmart. So if Walmart's going up, and that means it will be like $5.99 maybe at Joann's and AC Moore, because they're usually $4.99. Because this is $3.24 now, opposed to $2.97. So there's a 28-cent increase. Too bad. So I know with the variegated or the non-solid ones, I need 3, 2 and a little into the third one to do a big button cowl. So I'm wondering, last time I mentioned that one of the colorways I didn't need to break into the third skein, so I'm hoping that's the case, but I doubt it because this does feel a little thin, a little light. We'll see. So, and my goal for this month was to use up all the bulky, super bulky yarn, and I keep slowly adding a little more to it. By the end of this month, I definitely won't make that because the month will be over next week, pretty much. But I am putting a dent into it, which is good. So you'll see me on repeat pretty much with the big button cowls, but definitely with the 2-button cowls. Those are, I know you guys seem to like the big button cowl a lot, but my 2-button cowls are the ones that sell, pretty much sell out when I do my craft fairs. So, okay. That was, the other acquisition I mentioned, it wasn't a new one. Back, what is this, June? Back in April, I think, I purchased, I think it was in April. I don't have the receipt. I purchased, there was a fundraiser going on by some BIPOC, the People of Color DYERS. And they decided, a couple of them decided to do a fundraiser for the ACLU. I think they had different plans on where the fundraising money would go, but they settled on the ACLU, and they had particular colorways for that. So I bought one from 2 dyers. One, Lola Bean Yarn Company. If you don't follow her on Instagram, she's hilarious. Her name is Adela. And Gigi made it, called her that damn Della, because I think she had a colorway that Gigi made, and I think it was an orange. No, the colorway that Gigi liked, and it was an orange, of course, and that damn Della made me do it. But her colorway was called, of course, soybean. It's her soybean base, and the colorway is Every Bunny Needs Some Bunny to Love. And it's this. It's completely out of my, and this isn't showing it correctly. Hopefully I'll put the picture I took, but it's completely out of my color wheel. I totally forgot that this is the colorway I ordered, and I don't know why. I think I was just thinking do something different, but it just reminds me, it's Every Bunny. It totally reminds me of Easter. So maybe it was in April that I bought it, but it's 100% superwash merino, DK, again, DK. So who knows, maybe if I finish my worsted weight socks, I'll turn this into DK socks. But I love speckles. I love the speckles. Look at that. I love the speckles. But yeah, it's very, very pastel-y. Purples, yellows, speckles. I love speckles. Yeah, and this is her tag. This is a photo of or a rendition of her daughter, Lola. She posts daily shenanigans that her daughter gets up to, so take a look. And then the other one is from a new to me dyer. It's Kim Dye's Yarn, and she's in Virginia. This is her label. And this colorway was called From the Ashes. It's worsted, and this is more, not quite me, but more me. And this is just a little blown out, but closer to what it is. Ashes. It's like, this is more a warmer yellow, yellowy brown or brownish yellow color, and this looks black, but it's all browns. And you have some mauvey, lavendery colors. Totally blown out. It's much warmer. On screen it looks cooler. But yeah, don't know what I'm going to do with it, but I just bought it in support. So, I really should have brought water. Alright, I think that's it for acquisitions. Notes. Yes, that's it for acquisitions. I'm trying really hard to stay away from the stores. I had to go to Walmart, so you know, it's like by default you have to go down the yarn aisle just to check, just to make sure. Anyway, and with the redesign, I'm thinking, yeah, maybe they'll have more things on clearance, but not so much. Okay, so, oh, the other thing too, Lisa of Happy to Hook Creations she did a swap with Gypsy Rose, and I was tickled to see that one of the items that Gypsy put in there, she actually made a big button cowl and included it in the swap box for Lisa. So I'm like, wow, my pattern was made in Australia and sent back to the US. Too cool. So thanks, Gypsy. That is it for whips acquisitions, and now my repeat on finished objects. So this will be last. I did some more. Okay, hopefully this doesn't fall. I did some more cowls. I did the big button cowl, and I used a pre the clearance at Hobby Lobby. I was in there looking for something. I don't go there regularly. It's only near my job, which is an hour away, and it's a special stop on the way home. But one of the times I'd gone in there, they had a clearance wall, and there was nothing I needed, but I saw these, it's some kind of necklace, or I don't know what it is, but it's all these gorgeous coconut buttons, and they're big ones, and they're on this leather strap, so it's a 2-for-1. I think it's leather. Maybe not. It's on this leather looking cord, which will be repurposed. I can see it being a drawstring in a bag, a small bag. But there are all these buttons, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11, maybe 12. I think I've used one. And I think I got it for like $1 something, so that was a steal. So that's the button that I took off, one of them off here. And this is the Yarn Be Effortless. That, this was one of the ones that I made the original big button cowl in. But what I found is this particular one, and that was from a year ago. This particular one is it's not as soft as the previous one. And I'm not sure it's because it's the Tweety version, and I hadn't put it near my neck, but it's a little prickly. So, I don't know. But I do love the color, and this is coming out much bluer. It's much greener teal, but it's a nice Tweety color. So that's the big button cowl. I've only done one this week. But what I did is 1, 2, 3, 4 more 2-button cowls. This one, can you see the color gradation in here? I actually did that myself. Last year I did the, what's it called? The Skimming Stones crochet along. That was done by the Crochet Project. Actually, I signed up to do the newest one that they have. It's supposed to be a scrappy shawl, no stress kind of crochet along. And I need to check because I think it started already. I think it might have started this week. But I didn't get any notification through Ravelry that there was any update. Anyway, it called for, I think, DK yarn or fingering yarn, and I ended up using a Nicole samples from AC Moore. It was all in acrylic, and what I ended up doing is making my own, is it ombre? Is it considered ombre? Whatever it's called. So I started with 4 strands of, what do you call it? I started with 4 strands of, 3 strands of gray, 1 strand of white down here, and I did that I think for 3 rows. And then I took one of the gray strands out and I added 1 more, so I had 2 white, 2 grays for 3 rows, and then the last 2 rows I did 1 gray, 3 whites. So I was kind of mirroring the what do they call them? Those whirl cakes, those thin strands that are cotton strands that are not plied, but they're just held together, and every so often one of the yarn colors is taken out and a new one's put in. So I tried to do that because I had bought way more of that yarn than I needed for the cowl, so it's just sitting there, and it's just a basic acrylic, so I figured I'd give it a try and use that up. So I used up all the white. I have half a skein of gray left, and then now I've got fiber, and I think I have like a khaki green and like a teal color left of that there, so I'm gonna see what I can do. So it's a little lighter than using the Hometown USA, but I still like the effect. And these are just regular coconut buttons that I used. So yeah, there's that. Trying to use up stash. And then I did 2. So I'm not sure if you guys know, my 2-button cowl has 2 versions. It's a 2-for-1 in the pattern. I think I'm gonna have to turn my fan on again today. I haven't been having hot flashes for a while, but lately they keep coming back. There are 2 versions. I like the coziness here. I don't like things bulking up at the back of my neck. I don't. I've been known to like cut off turtlenecks or shirts that have 2. I get so frustrated. I just cut a line down here just to open it up. I don't like things at the back of my neck. So one of the versions of, trying to see if I can hold it up. One of the versions, you have the regular, just doing it, and then the other version, I don't know if you can tell, there's a slight tapering at the back, so there's less bulk sitting on your neck, and you know, it's still the same size in the front, but just less on the back of your neck. So one of these is, this one has less in the back, and this is just the regular version. So that pattern is a 2-for-1. So I have 2 in the, I think this is the Cincinnati Red. I do not recall, but it's Hometown USA. It was one of the discounted ones at Walmart, the $2 skeins. And then this one I had, and this is, I'll be darned if I remember the color. I think it's the gold. What is that? It's not Madison Mustard. There's another gold colorway. But, so I had this already in my stash. I had 2 skeins and I just used that up. So that's the only one of that. And then from the 2 skeins that I use for the big button cowl and the effortless, I was able to get 2 Kalina headbands out of that. One's a little smaller. This is the regular size. And then one is just a little smaller. Now, the Kalina pattern says chain this or what's comfortable for your head. There's no multiple, so you can just make it whatever fits comfortable around your head and then move along with the pattern. So it's easily customizable. So I got 2 of those. I just need to add my little button onto it. And so that's that. And then the other thing, nope, I'll show that last. So 2 more. I had the opportunity and pleasure to test for Angelia again. She's been hit by the design bug, and especially Amigurumi, so she is taking off like, you know, a kite in the wind, and she's just designing away. So fast and furious. So her latest one, I got the opportunity to test. So meet, and she did a quick video to introduce them. I am like sweating up a storm. To introduce them yesterday, and the pattern was released, and it is on Ravelry and Etsy. I will put a link below. But this is Fisher. His eyes are a little big. I will talk about that in a second. And I'm not thrilled with his outfit, or part of his outfit, but this is Fisher. Now mine definitely came out bigger than hers. I thought it was just, I was talking to her about it, and I thought it was just a picture, but I used a smaller hook, and I used Red Heart Super Saver, the solids and then the stripes, and it definitely came out bigger, and he definitely has a full belly, much bigger than hers, or quite a bit bigger than the one that she showed. And my hook was smaller because her pattern calls for an F hook, and I always use an E hook, 3.5. So it definitely came out bigger. So what I didn't like, not about the pattern, what I didn't like, the yarn. This is, of all the yarn I have, I did not have green worsted weight at all. At all. In my stash. Actually, I had one Caron Simply Soft, but it's a, like a deep forest green. It's a dark green, and I don't like using Caron Simply Soft for amigurumis. But it was the wrong green, so I had to go out and buy Red Heart Super Saver. There is a green in, I think the Craft Smart, the Michaels brand, that I like, but they didn't have any available, so Red Heart Super Saver it was. But this yarn, this green, is so much thinner than the standard weight of Red Heart Super Saver. So much thinner, and I think that's what contributes to making this look longer. Now, I did add 1 extra row because I just didn't want to frog it. I just kept going, and I had 1 extra row. I didn't want to frog it. So that added a little to the height. And then instead of just pinching it closed and sewing it, I like to single crochet it closed. So that added a little height to it, but still it looks way taller than hers and thinner than hers. Thinner because that's the yarn. It's way thinner. That's probably why the body looks bigger than the head, but I don't know. The other thing too, she had, you know, a color for the shirt, a color for the pants. I didn't want to, the only other Super Saver colors that I have are browns for Lovey Doll, brown dolls. So I didn't want to go buy any more than the green for the frog. So I had these stripes in stash, so I decided to use it. I wish I had just stuck to this one here. The transition in this one is almost seamless. It blends so nicely. This is below here. I think from here is Super Saver stripes in polo stripes. And then up here is, I think, preppy stripes, derby stripes, derby stripe. Up here is derby stripe in the arms. That's in derby stripe. I like the colors. I don't like the color transition. It's one of those like abrupt color transition. Let's see. Right here. They're very abrupt, and right here. I don't like that. Usually I don't mind it, but I really don't like it in here. And I don't know if it's because of color combinations. I don't. Down here, the colors just, they just blended into each other so nicely. It was almost calming. But up here, I don't like at all. At all. And I also didn't have, other than Karen Simply Soft, which I didn't want to use, I didn't have a regular worsted, regular red color. So I have these old, like single plied yarns, like roving types, but I think it was from AC Moore, the dollar bin way back when. It's got sparkles in it, and that's all I had, so I ended up doubling it, and so he's got sparkles. So yeah, he's got sparkles in his cheeks. So yeah, all in all, he's a big guy. It's a big increase for a pattern, so be ready for that. But if you like doing amigurumi, it's not a problem. I love the, it's like mismatchy pant leg socks on him. I like this polo stripe for Red Heart. Plus, this polo stripe was like normal size worsted. Up here was also really thin as well. And even within the skein, the white color was like normal size, but these colors here were really thin. They're almost as thin as the green. So it was just annoying. But I love his full belly. Looks like he ate a lot of flies. So this is Fisher. He's out. Go give Angelia some support. At least just go like her patterns and check it out. Or put it in your favorites to give her a helping hand. Yeah, and her patterns are so super cheap priced. I shouldn't say cheap. They're very reasonably priced. You know, for all levels. So you're not going to get, it's not like a $7, $8 patterns, which there's been a whole discussion about paying designers what they're worth and how to compensate testers and this whole thing. I'm not fully into everything that has been said on it. I haven't read up everything, but what I have noticed is that a lot of pattern sales or a lot of pattern prices have, compared to where they were, they've skyrocketed. Now, I will tell you, I've thought about increasing my patterns to one flat price. I haven't made a decision about that yet. For the time being, everything's staying as is. But patterns are now like $8. I'm even seeing patterns that are like $12. So I don't know how I feel about that yet. Yes, you should be compensated for the work you put in it. So I'm still giving it some thought. $12 for the pattern. That's up there. And I think it's more sticker shock because we're not used to it. Because remember when gas prices were $1.99 or, you know, under $2, and now, you know, it's a steal if you find gas prices like that. And we got used to it because we had to. So, you know. But Fisher says hi. She does have another one. Actually, she has 2 more coming out. But there's another one that should be coming out shortly. I've already done with it, but I'm not going to show it because she hasn't talked about it yet. So you will see that on the next video. So Fisher says bye. Okay, and then I'm trying to use up the fiber is killing me. I'm trying to use up, now that I broke into those skeins, I'm trying to use them up because I love Red Heart Super Saver, but I love it for toys and other things. I don't use it for wearables. So actually I may throw it into my my chunky corner to corner to use it. But in the meantime, look at that. Isn't she adorable? Look at the flower. But yeah, I just decided to make one of these. The way the yarn transitioned, she ended up having, I thought about putting her face like here where it's half and half, but I put the pink in front instead and gave her a pink flower. So yeah. Now, I usually use safety eyes, is that a word? Safety eyes on my octos, but I've been thinking a lot of smaller kids come and touch at the craft fairs, so you know, for extra safety, I started using just the embroidered eyes on some of them. So now that just means it'll give me a chance to work more on working on the embroidery, because it's a hit or miss for me on those. So let me go get the next bag and I will be right back. Okay, the next bag is a small one from Angelia again. This is one of her older ways that she was doing it, or I shouldn't say older. What she used to do previously was the pull string on the side. She now does the pull tab up top, and she likes that way better, because here you're losing at least, what, 3 inches of space when you put it down here. Actually more, 3 inches here, and then so like anywhere from 4 to 5 inches you're losing of space. With the pull tab up top, you get the full bag for space. So it's a pink wood motif, branches, and then the inside is just lined with a nice, that's pretty true right there, bright pink inside. So yep, so there's that for anyone, especially those of you who sometimes I'm surprised that some people say they've never had project bags before, and I don't know why that surprises me, but I guess I always think because I have one, everybody has one. It's a stupid thing, stupid way to think, but I don't know. But yeah, if you're interested in that, comment below. How long does it take you to make a blanket? Me, it feels like an eternity. Probably just because I really don't, it's not my preferred project to work on. So yeah, how long does it take you to do a blanket? So after this, I'm gonna say goodbye now. Since I forgot to pull for the, hang on, I forgot to pull for the CC bag, CC Dr. Seuss bag. I will throw that at the end, and I will say thank you guys for stopping by and visiting with me. Thank you guys for commenting. Thank you for the hair compliment. Oh, I lied. I just opened the drawer and realized. So that cowl that I put together with made my own ombre. This is how I used up all the rest of the white yarn. I made 2. Yeah. Me and this camera, honest to goodness. I made 2. Oh my gosh, it's so terrible. There you go. So, those 2. So I may end up doing that instead of trying to do another ombre with the cowl. I may just put it all together and make octos. Who knows, but stay tuned for that, and I will talk to you guys, who knows when, next week, at least next week, to announce the winner for that pink bag, and check out who won the CC bag, and I will talk to you guys later. Total rambling. Bye guys. I really shouldn't have had that wine, huh? Totally forgot everything. I was able to get a Kalina hat out of the red, and then I had enough to make one more of these from last week. So now bye. See you guys. Okay guys, this is Laurel again, and we are pulling for the CC Dr. Seuss bag, and CC as in the Canadian crocheter, Miss Debbie herself. Alright, URL's in, 154 unique commenters. Thank you guys for participating. Here we go. I think the wine is kicking in. Oh, Crystal Crochet and Stuff. Awesome. I just watched her video too. Actually, she was one of the ones that also prompted the how fast do you crochet something, because I think she was doing a kimono from another YouTuber, and she said she had it done in like an hour. I'm like, what? Anyway, the wine is definitely kicking in. So Crystal says, love your hair. Oh my god, a Dr. Seuss bag is adorable. Yes, it is. Hope you have a wonderful day, week. Thank you, Crystal. Information down below. Send me an email and I will have that out to you. Thank you. Bye, guys.